pesky. Hello, welcome back to Sage and Stone Homestead. My name is Heather. So I've got a baby update for you today. I've got a bottle in this bucket here. I'm gonna try to feed baby boy goats that were born in, I think it was September, early October. I did have to wean them. Not you guys. Back up. These little babies right here. Hi, boys. So here's one of the little boys. I think this one is Pesky's little buckling. He's blue-eyed and polled, and he's never had a bottle. He's been away from mama for a couple days, so he might take one. And the reason that I pulled him off of mama's early is because these babies were born in the fall, in the height of rut season, and like little babies can sometimes be bad enough with acting like they are adults, if you know what I mean, when they're born in the springtime, and then when they're born in the fall, it's that much worse. And I have some young dolings in the barn that are definitely of age, but they are too small in order to carry babies and kid, and I didn't want any accidents happening. He is 6 weeks, he's upset, but he's also 6 weeks old, so he could stand to have, you know, a few more weeks of bottles if I can get him to drink it. As I mentioned, they've never had a bottle before, so you kind of have to force feed it the first time. Okay, he's got it. Hold on, Dingus. There you go. He's very sloppily attached to it, but he is drinking a little. Excuse me, sir. This little baby, hey! This is Mayhem's little boy. Okay, do you want to try a bottle? You're hoarse. Okay. Gravy. There you go. There. You got the hang of it. Poor darling. All right. There. Do you feel better now? Stop that screaming. This here's Pepper's little boy, and I'm a little less worried about him because he was a single buckling, and so for the 6 weeks that he was with his mom, he had that udder all to himself, so he's pretty big. Come here, let's try this. Open up. Open up. Just gonna let it dribble out? That's no fun. Do you want this? Maybe not. Huh? You are not interested at all. Okay. Come here. Let's try again. You're fine. With babies that have been dam raised, sometimes it helps to cover their eyes when you're trying to get them to nurse, because if you think about it, when they're underneath their mamas nursing, their eyes are pretty shaded, and so it helps make it more similar to what they're used to. He's just holding it in his mouth. There he goes. Yes, he got it. That's what we want. Good baby. So as you notice, these boys are pretty flighty. I have not spent a lot of time like I like to with my dam raised babies in order to make them friendly, and this is going to help. We sell a lot of goats to pet families, and when you have a pet, you want it to be friendly. And bottle raising, or just spending a lot of time with the baby goats is a good way to tame them. Did you like that? Do you want more? See, already he's like, I think I might like you. Yeah. There we go. Good boy. There. Is that good? Yeah. There. He's got the hang of it now. Good boy. That's all. It's all gone. I mean, you can play with the bubbles, I guess. It's gone. You guys did a good job. It's gone. Okay, go play. These other babies, these bigger ones, I spent time with them when they were babies. They were fully dam raised. They don't know what this thing is, but they're friendly anyway. Getting a dam raised baby to take a bottle is a lot easier if you give them a day or two from being separated from their mom before you offer them the first bottle. I have tried in vain and with much frustration to try to give a baby goat a bottle who is used to their mama but really isn't quite hungry yet. And success is so much easier when they are hungry. Now these babies are older. Like I said, they're 6 and 7 weeks old. So really they could survive just fine if I just gave them hay and water. But we do have the extra milk, and a few extra weeks of milk is gonna be good for them as far as their bodies goes and their personalities. Nothing in there yet. So normally, well, for the longest time, I've been feeding my goats on the ground in these rubber feed bowls. It does work, but as you can see, they put their feet and stuff in it. These types of feeders then hang on the fencing here. I've been wanting to get more of these probably for over a year now. But the first time I looked at them, I think they were $8.99. This might have been in 2020 or 2021. They've doubled in price, like a lot of other things. I think my mindset was that I had to buy all of the ones that I wanted all at once. And so the sticker shock of that kept me from buying them. But I did buy 4 of them a couple days ago. So I'm gonna put one in each of the pens that I have boy goats in. One of these is not gonna be enough for all of the goats to get all of the feed that they need. I can put a little bit here and a little bit there, and eventually I'll get more of these feeders and they will be feeding off the ground, which is best for goats. Yes, how goes it? Hello? Does that work? Is that gonna do the job? Yeah? Can you reach your head in here? Good boy. Yeah, good boy. What a good boy. I'll come fill it with food in a second. Yeah, he can reach. Which color do you want? Red. Okay. Not in there yet. Hello, handsomes. How goes it in here? Wow. You would. Okay. That wasn't something that I considered, but of course. Come here. Look. What these goats are doing right now is a really good illustrator of what we're about to talk about. Titus. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Back up, please. Back up. Back up. Good girl. So So Pesky is presently trying to tear the barn down, so try to ignore that noise in the background. But I got a question, or more of a comment on a video the other day that said, you know, please try to get more feeders for your girl goats. I don't like to see them struggling over the same feed bowl. The commenter is very well intended. She was worried that some of my little goats were getting bullied away from the feed by some of the bigger goats. And this is the angle that I normally show you when we feed our goats, because this has the best view. But what I'm gonna do today is actually take you on my view of feeding the girls, and you can see that everybody gets their fair share. So that's the first dump. And then we have Opus, who's gonna go to her feed. This is what you guys normally see. So you know the drill. Second dump. See, it's getting a lot more doable over here. Come here. Okay, come here. See, it happens to be wherever I dump feed, happens to be the best feed. There's no one over here right now. And then a whole bunch come over, because that's where I've freshly dumped feed. That's apparently the best feed. So we've got a good lineup of small goats over here. Got some small goats and a big one over here. And then where I freshly dumped feed, there's a few more. Hey Marge, come on. I can definitely understand the concern in wanting to make sure that the little goats have enough to eat. They do. The issue with goats is that they have serious FOMO, and if it appears that the grain is sweeter on the other side, they're going to run around and pile into one feed bowl, even though it's all the same. And truthfully too, even if my big goats do bully some of the little goats out of some of the feed, it's not a big deal. The big goats are a lot bigger and they do need more feed. And I keep a very close eye on my goats and their condition. And if I notice that any goat really is under conditioned and needs a little bit more attention and like one-on-one feed bowl time, this is what I do. See Elpis? Elpis is over there taking her time eating. She's getting all she needs. She's gained weight and it works well. As long as the goats have access to good forage or good hay, they really don't need a lot of grain at all. The ones that need grain really are the ones that are milking, and they always get as much feed as they want to eat while I'm milking them. Madame. The lighting in my barn is not the best, so I'm not sure if you can see what's going on, but she's sitting on the bucket right now. And so as I mentioned, I only weaned the babies like 2 days ago, and so I've only been fully milking Pepper out for a couple days. This is the second milking that I've done, and Pepper historically does this even when she does well for most of the season. She has a baby and then forgets how to be a dairy goat. But so all I'm doing, I'm not taking my hand off of her udder because I don't want her to win. So I am just holding on to her udder, waiting for her to stand. Sometimes I will lift up just to speed things along, and then I will continue milking. Eventually she'll stop doing this. The bonus is it's hard for her to eat when she's not standing, so she has incentive to stand. I'll show you what I've done in the past too. So what I've done in the past, and this works really well, is I've taken one of these halters that you can buy at the store. It's a sheep and goat halter. I've done it with a regular leash too, but with these, I basically make 2 loops with the small part that straps over their nose in the middle. And then I take 1 loop, put this foot in it. She knows what I'm doing. I've got that nose strap part over her back, and then I'm gonna stick her other leg in the other loop. There we go. So got her all harnessed up. She's tied to the fencing up here, so when she goes to lay down, this harness is gonna catch her and I can milk her. I have a smaller bucket and I probably need to bring that out because this bucket's a little big to fit my hands and it underneath of her. But she's doing okay. Some goats do, they have preferences on how to be milked, and I've noticed that she stands a lot better with me back here. I haven't been able to properly finagle rear or behind milking, but some people will reach through the back of the goat like this and milk. That may be what she wants, I don't know. Come on, Mayhem. You're done. Mayhem. May. She can have an attitude too. Mayhem here, she still has one of her babies on her. So she was the first one to kid this fall, and she had boy-girl twins, but her baby boy, he's that grayish brown one. He was the one that was acting the most bucky the other day when Shindy was in heat. So of course he had to come out. And I wouldn't have to milk her necessarily. I have been leaving her little girl Violet on her. Going down from 2 babies to 1 baby will signal her udder to make a little bit less milk. So if I milk alongside her baby, we can help keep that production up. Mayhem is a daughter out of my Margie, and Margie is the goat that we milked first. And these goats are very good at kind of overproducing, I guess, because they make a lot more milk than they need for their babies. So I have been able in the past to milk alongside Margie's triplets. She would feed triplets and then give me about like 3 cups on top of that. And Mayhem's the same way. She doesn't give as much as her mom, but she gives an excess that's worth milking out. Pesky! Come on, girl. Back up. Back up. Come here, Pesky. Atta girl. Wrong way. Good girl. So the same is true for Pesky here. I did wean one of her babies. She still has her little doeling on her. I am continuing to milk Pesky right now, mostly because I have decided that I am going to sell Pesky really as soon as possible. I don't think she was on my original cull list that I made before, but I've decided that her teats are just not ideal for hand milking, and that's what I'm gonna need out of my Nigerians. I'm gonna need them to be more ideal, longer and better placement than she has. I have a machine that I use for milking and I love it, but it's honestly not worth pulling out when I'm only getting a ½ gallon of milk a day. It is much faster to hand milk when you have that little of a volume coming in versus having to clean the machine for that little amount. So Pesky here, she's got some of the tiniest teeth in all the land, and I'm trying to keep her production up so that she can be a good milk animal for somebody this winter, which is hard to come by. So a few of you may know that I do have troubles with my elbow, sometimes this one right here, and overuse. And when the goat is harder to milk, it just puts more strain on my elbow. So even though I can milk her, and she's really not the worst that I've tried to milk, I do know what I want now out of my Nigerian udders, and hers just isn't it. See, as I mentioned, she has her baby on her just like Mayhem does, but I'm getting significantly less milk out of Pesky because Mayhem just produces more. Here's little Violet. Come here. So here's Mayhem's little girl. This is Violet. She's gorgeous. Huh, baby? She's getting chunky. Oh, punched in the face.